Good morning, class of 2019. Thank you so much for having me. It is an incredible honor to stand here before you today. Thank you to the faculty, to the guests, to the families, and to all the gorgeous students among us who are beyond the shadow of a doubt. Nursing, raising handovers, and praying that Disney princess keep the let it go. Metaverse to a minimum. So, I see you. I got you. I want to start today by sharing a secret about myself you might not know. I didn't graduate from the college. Then isn't a full flop sweet thinking. Oh my god, nobody double check? I had a feeling when I saw her outfit because no one with a respectable degree would wear a top of that size. Who let her in here? But that leads me to another thing about me, which is I'm nice, and as it turned out, when you're nice, people try to overlook at you. In some cases, it would include experience, credential, not having your driver license at the airport security, and yes, that's a true story twice. And you might say, Kristen, no, that's not a result of being nice. That's the result and the privilege of being a recognizable person. And okay, that may be true. But I will counter with my husband, who is also highly recognizable and does not get away with anything. Literally, 10 out of 10 times, he is getting a pat down at TSA. And that's because he's just not as nice as me. Don't get me wrong. I love him. I love him. He is a brilliant. He's hilarious. He's literally my favorite person. But he is even nicest person. I don't know, guys. I just don't know. And I tell you this at the risk of divorce because I can offer you to the trick of how to wield your shining diploma to ensure success. I can tell you the answer to age-old actor's dilemma. Should I move to New York? Should I move in LA? And for goodness sakes, I cannot tell you what a Magna Carta is or what it even does. I literally don't know. I don't have to answer any of those questions. And let me tell you a secret. Nobody has the answer of the question. My sole trick to share with you is when you listen. When you really listen to people, when you listen as fiercely as you want to be heard, when you respect the idea that you're sharing the earth with other humans, when you lead with your voice forward, and you will win every time. It might not be today, it not might be tomorrow, but it will come when you need it. We live in age of instant gratification, of immediate likes, and it's uncomfortable have to wait to see the dividends of your kindness. But I promise you, it will appear exactly when you need it. It will appear at the crisis moment when you pass gas in an elevator and everyone blames your husband instead of you. That is when a boomerang of kindness hits you back. It's also a very true story, numerous times over. Though this would be fair if I just waxed on about kindness and I didn't also include our inevitable downside. It's relevant to know that sometimes when you choose nice, it does come with a price tag. Being nice sometimes mean avoiding the obvious joke. Like for instance, me and I've chosen this pet. This fits to be a nice and institution like this. I'm choosing not to reference on Becky in any way, shape. Thank you. In fact, I'm so nice. I'm not even going to mention my actual aunt, Becky, for fear. It is simply to close the fire and let me be real. Removing those jokes is a bit of a sacrifice, but I dare you, sir. But I dare I say, prioritizing your emotional intelligence over you. Logical intelligence can at times feel like a compromise, but it does pay you off. You were right to pay off note. It was not the best choice of word for this particular. I'm not I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying, and you know what I should have led with that. I'm by no means perfect. I'm also not telling you what to do. I mean, my second child is the result and protected method. Sex in a hot tub in the Hawaiian island. I'm in no position to give advice. Hand to God, I can do it. I also do is share my experience with you. My husband always says, if you see someone who has what you want, ask them how they got it. Unfortunately, because has yet to reply to my email, so I don't have all the answer yet. But she will like, don't worry, she's definitely going to. So I'm pretty sure I say this because if there is nothing about my life that seems even slightly aspirational, hopefully some of these will be helpful to you. And if not, feel free to slowly pull the flags hiding in your underwear out and just have it. I'm not your mom. You know what I mean? Is if it's not hurting anyone, great, get yours. And you know what? Maybe share some with your neighbors. Now the tricky things about finding someone who has what you want and need, you also have to know what you want. Right, right. So that seems simple enough. But it's actually very hard because our brain are arrogant as whole. The brain thinks it's running the show, but the heart is secretly pulling string. Yeah, it's very true. Our brain, the are the king Joffrey of our bodies, and our heart are the granny. They all right. Very true. We think we know what we want, but we often have no idea what we need. And because of that, we often approach life with one goals and we end up finding our real purpose along the way. When I left to New York and I came to LA, I had the singular goal of becoming the lead on the TV show. I had gained some experience in New York, playing a knave of Sussex Spot and River Madness. I thought, perfect. I'm ready for Los Angeles. Surely I will be embraced immediately. So I hope on a plane. I arrive in the lane where the streets are soaked in sunshine and the self-taners reside. I had the confidence of an overserved freshman at the far party. I was like, here I am. And I began the process of auditioning, which is really just a constant way to stay driving back and forth to Santa Monica in a rush hour traffic. But the feedback that I received was that I was always either too young, too old, too cute, too plain, too smart, too dizzy. It was if Goldilocks were every casting director and I just couldn't nail it. And eventually, I started booking some coaster and guest star roles, but my COVID let elude me, and I would go to the bad negotiating with the universities I would like. Okay, if I could just book the lead on the CAS and CAS Miami, I promise I will decrease my carbon footprint by at least 6 in the next calendar years. So clearly, I know absolutely nothing about the measure of the carbon. I find it almost as confusing as the concept of the Magna Carta. But then it happened. I was cast on Veronica Mars, which is my first show, and everything I ever wanted was in front of me. I was earning a real paycheck. I was the lead of a TV show. I owe the universe all my carbon, but when we started shooting, something very unexpected happened to me. Well, to unexpected, the first way is was Ryan Hansen who played Big Casablanca his hair. It was the exact, almost too accurate to one point shade of surfer blonde boy. It was like the kind that give you PTSD from working alone, then a speech that you're just like, hmm. It was terrifying and I love it. The second was that despite the recognition of my dream, I was not happy like at all. My arrogant, little as whole brain could not complete what was happening. I was like, how was this possible? This is what I want and what I need, right? And yet I had it all. And I was lonelier than I had ever been. And it wasn't until the boy with the silver hair invited me to his birthday party after hours of set away from work that everything changed. He wasn't just inviting me to his birthday party, he was inviting me to his life party, to his community, and I finally felt at home, and I met some of the best friends at that I still have to this day. In retrospect, I know it wasn't the role I was looking for. It was a paycheck for a titular character. What really needed was friendship, so I want to stress to you. Build your tribe, they will keep you alive. I'm also pretty sure what's why Beyonce would say. Speaking of pillar of an American entertainment, oh, it is now the portion of the morning where I remind everyone that life is 50 Shades of Grey. I have to assume I'm the first speaker in an academic institution that has referenced the book 50 Shades of Grey. But we have already established that I dropped out of college. I have no right to be here. So this is where we arrive. I don't know what you want me to do in my life. There was only one concept that I have determined. It's that everything is gray. Every person, every question, every tragedy, and even every victory, they all have nuance. Pay attention to the nuance. You all in this room, I feel like know that better than anyone. You know it in your bones because you devote your time to building stories, building people. It's what you do. You are people architect. You need a script and you construct a walking, breathing human from the ground up. When we create character, we are encouraged to make them three-dimensional, right? An acting two-dimensional character, they are the at least boring and the most extreme, irresponsible. We are told to embrace complicated because producer has a porter over his text that reads what does the villain want. Because in art, we recognize all characters start with an empathic motivational stage. We prioritize listening because we know the livelihood of the show relies on it. We are good at remembering those things when we make art. But in our daily life, we tend to forget when the shift from the stage to reality, no one seems to get lost in the struggle in real life. We don't know and we don't look for the one things we love about each person. Complicated character get cast out and we view things two-dimensionally. It's also becoming increasingly apparent we are not listening to each other, even though like on stage, the livelihood of this entire grand show relies on it. The great news is we can call choose, right? When hard memories arise, you can lean on the experience you have gleaned in this past of years, and you can choose the nuance. You can choose complexity over simplicity. You can listen to other with open ears as if your next move depends on it. You can send the Meisner your life. So class of 2019, as you move your tassel from the left to the right and officially take the step forward toward your forever. I encourage you, take them with your nice foot. And if you take away one thing from this, remember what I said earlier. If not hurting someone or anyone, get yours and maybe share some with your neighbor. Thank you and congratulations.